How you doing, guys? I'm obviously not recording this in my office. I'm in the cabin on our boat. I'll turn this around a little bit so you can get a little better view. And I apologize. I have been neglecting you, gentlemen. I have been so busy trying to make everything work for everybody that I haven't had time to make things work for you guys, and that's not my style. Not at all. So, like I said in the email, the book is by my office. You're free to pick it up. Since it was my mistake, I paid for it. So no problem at all. We will be starting on it next week. Okay, I'll have a reading assignment for you by Thursday. Okay, so what I want to talk to you today about is, okay, let's assume some things. I've said it before, I'll say it 100 times. You are the new church. You are the leaders of the new church. By the time you graduate from Gather for Him, you will know more about Scripture than 99% of the people in your church. You will know more about Scripture. Now, there's a difference. The Bible is a compilation of 66 books. Scripture is that part of it that says, points us towards God. Okay? So, what is the role that you're going to take? Well, none of us knows really yet. It doesn't matter that much if you're a musician or not. But worship arts is about leading worship, but it's more than that. It's much more than just creating music. It's about creating sacred space. It's about creating a place where people can feel safe to meet God. Sacred space is difficult to create. It's easy to destroy. So we're gonna be working on making sacred space. What exactly is that? What do you think it means? You know, I've been in churches all across the United States. I've been in churches in Africa, in churches in Canada, and I can tell within a few minutes what kind of a place it is. My wife and I spent about 18 years at a church here in town previously, and it was time for us to move on, so we did. And we did some church hopping. And I'll never forget one of the churches here in town, I will not name it. We walked in. We were obviously strangers. And no one paid any attention at all. The greeters were too busy talking to each other. We stood there for 10 minutes. No one said a word. We walked out, never went back, and never will go back. Sacred space is the experience that people have from the second they walk through the door to the second they leave. Sacred space is about exactly that. What is sacred? What makes something sacred? Now, we've heard of sacred objects, and we have to be careful with sacred objects. One sacred object that I grew up with is the Bible. And we have to be careful that we don't worship the Bible. It's called bibliolatry. We are to worship the God that the Bible points us towards, not the Bible itself. The Bible is the messenger. It is not the message. So our job as worship leaders, and I've been one, is to create a place where people can come in, especially strangers, and feel comfortable immediately. Now, I've been in churches where the greeters are just a little overwhelming. Yeah, you walk through the door. Hi there! I'm so glad to see you. My name's Bill. Can I get you a cup of coffee? Oh my gosh, I am so glad to see you that you are here. Yeah. No thanks. Think about it. You ever been in a church where you felt unwelcome? Have you ever gone to a church that wasn't your own and you felt welcome? What was the difference? Think about that. What was the difference? What made you feel welcome in one place and unwelcome in another? We felt totally unwelcome at the church I was talking about. And we didn't feel all that welcomed in the place where the guys just went crazy over us. It's like, oh my gosh, these people are dying for members. This church must be dying by itself. So let's get out of here. What is it? What is it that draws people? What is it that says, this church is for me, and that one over there is not? It's a hard question to answer because we probably have not thought about it a whole lot. Now, as we explore different styles of worship, different styles of music, you'll see that some people are drawn to one type while others say, oh, I don't want anything to do with that. And that's okay. There is no one correct style of worship. It doesn't exist. In my estimation, churches are kind of like ice cream. Seriously, think about it. What kind of ice cream do you like? Seriously, what do you like? Vanilla? Chocolate peanut butter? Fudge ripple? Maui Wowie? Sherbet? What? What do you like? Vanilla? Nothing wrong with any of those. But I place churches along that same continuum. Some people, we go to a church where we like its flavor, where we like its taste. And every church is different. No two churches are alike. And those that try to imitate other churches, I don't think do too well. So you have to find your own flavor. What is it? Some people gravitate towards very, very loose style worship, which is some of the Pentecostal styles. Some people gravitate to more formal worship. Some gravitate to very formal worship, such as the Episcopalians and the Lutherans, and so on. Some people gravitate towards grace. Some people gravitate towards lots of rules. Why? Because that's what we need. Now me, I don't like rules. I don't like my own rules most of the time. But some people need rules. They need rules in order to feel that they are somehow in touch with God. They tend towards what we would call legalistic churches, or in my terminology, the Reformed, Calvinist style churches. Others, such as myself, I go more towards, I guess, what you'd call Free Methodist. It's not that formal. It's a lot like most churches in America. But my background is German Dutch. We don't do wild, okay? We don't do that dancing in the aisle stuff. Nope. Very uncomfortable with that. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying I'm not comfortable with it. There's a huge difference. So people tend to go to places where they feel comfortable. So the churches that you lead are going to have to find a niche. You're going to have to find a style. You're going to have to find something that fits. And it's going to have to be narrow enough that you can do it and broad enough so that it brings people in. Now, what's the purpose of bringing people in? It's not to have butts in seats, okay? No. It's to bring them to Christ. That is the one and only reason that we have evangelism. So what is the church? It comes from the Greek term ekklesia or ecclesia. We translate it as church. What it really means, translated, is the gathering of the called ones. In other words, a gathering of those who are called. And that's really what it is. We come together. We come together to worship. We come together to be with each other. We come together for healing. We come together for prayer. We come together for praise. We come together to worship the God who made it all. And so your job as a worship leader is to make that happen. Good luck.